The planet Zalethar was a world of extremes. Its deep jungle stretched across endless continents, inhabited by creatures both strange and wonderful, shaped by evolution in ways no human had ever imagined. Among the dominant species were the herbivorous Zalethar, graceful, gentle beings with translucent emerald skin and large, liquid eyes that reflected the lush foliage around them. They lived in harmony with the flora, feeding on vibrant fruits and leaves, never once harming another creature. On the opposite end of the food chain were the carnivorous Krahks, towering, muscular hunters covered in mottled gray scales and equipped with rows of razor-sharp teeth. These apex predators stalked the shadows, their instincts razor-focused on survival, their society brutal but effective. Among the Krahks, strength ruled all. The two species had coexisted for millennia, keeping a wary distance from one another. The Zalethar avoided the open grounds where the Krahks hunted, while the Krahks rarely ventured into the dense forests where Zalethar dwelled. But fate, it seemed, was about to weave a very different story. Chapter 1: The Trap. Jara, a young Zalethar girl, was unlike the others of her kind. While her peers danced among the treetops, reveling in the quiet safety of the canopy, Jara's curiosity was insatiable. She wanted to know what lay beyond the familiar forests, beyond the vines and giant flowers, into the shadowy plains where the Krahks roamed. One afternoon, while exploring the edges of the jungle, Jara noticed an unfamiliar device partially buried under a cluster of rocks. It was metallic and crude, something unnatural in her world. She circled it cautiously, her big eyes widening as she realized it was a trap of some kind. Her instincts screamed for her to flee, but her curiosity held her captive. The trap suddenly snapped shut, and before she could react, a metal cage trapped her, its walls closing in tight. "Please," Jara pleaded, her voice trembling. "Don't hurt me." Her voice echoed in the cage as she pounded on the bars, trying to free herself, but the trap was human-made, strong and unyielding. Chapter 2: The Carnivorous Man. Across the clearing, a human stood watching. Tall and lean, with sharp eyes that glinted with a mixture of calculation and hunger. He was a hunter named Marcus. Humans had recently arrived on Zalethar, explorers and settlers seeking new resources and new life. Marcus was part of a specialized group studying the planet's predators. He approached the trap slowly, his gaze fixed on the trembling figure inside. When he reached the cage, he crouched down, studying Jara with interest. "You're not like the others," he murmured. "Not like the Krahks or the Zalethar." Jara's heart pounded. "Please don't eat me. I'm herbivorous. I'm not food." Marcus chuckled darkly, showing his teeth. "That depends on what you are. To me, everything is food. But maybe you're different." Jara's eyes searched his, desperately trying to find any hint of mercy. "I'm not a monster," Marcus said softly. "Not always." Chapter 3: An Uneasy Pact. Days passed, and Marcus fed Jara, bringing her fruits and water. She refused to eat the meat he offered, insisting she only ate plants. He watched her, fascinated by her delicate frame and strange physiology. "You survive by strength, and so do I," Marcus explained one evening as he sat outside the trap's glowing perimeter. "But sometimes, survival means making strange alliances." Jara nodded, understanding the unspoken truth. Survival meant compromise. Over time, Marcus began to lower the cage bars, trusting Jara more than his instincts told him to. They communicated in broken phrases, gestures, and eventually, a fragile friendship blossomed between the carnivorous hunter and the gentle herbivore. Chapter 4: The Threat. The peace was shattered when a pack of Krahks caught wind of the trap. They howled and snarled at the edge of the jungle, eager to claim the human's prize. Marcus knew that if they took Jara, she would be torn apart or worse. "We have to protect her," Marcus said, setting traps around the perimeter. Jara watched him, amazed by the intricacies of his human tools. "You are different from them," she whispered. "Why protect me?" "Because you're not prey," Marcus said simply. "Because sometimes the strongest protect the weakest." Chapter 5: The Escape. One night, under a sky swirling with stars and strange moons, the Krahks attacked. Marcus fought fiercely, using every weapon and tactic he had learned. Jara, despite her fear, helped by distracting the beasts, her shrill cries confusing their senses. Together they made it back to the jungle, far from the traps and the hunters. Breathless, Jara looked at Marcus. "Thank you." Marcus smiled, his carnivorous instincts softened by something new. "We're more alike than you think. Maybe this is just the beginning." Chapter 6. A New Beginning. From that day, Marcus and Jara became unlikely allies, walking the delicate line between predator and prey, hunter and protector. The jungle no longer seemed so dangerous when they were together. Their story became legend, of a human who caught a herbivorous alien girl and chose not to eat her, but to save her instead. A story of survival, trust, and the unexpected bonds that can form when worlds collide.